Well, folks, by now I'm sure you saw the inspiring sermon delivered by brave Mariann Budde, in which she asked Orangina for mercy on all the people he's going to shiv in his quest for dominance over trans kids and immigrant kids and all kinds of people who pose no threat whatsoever to him and aren't actually doing the harm to our country that he claims they are. But you know, they make really good political football, so screw 'em, right? Well, you probably heard that Orangina roundly disparaged the brave bishop and her sermon because it was far too on brand for the old woke Jesus model of Christianity and not nearly close enough to the pummel whichever target serves as a political boost model that Orangina and his Republican heathens have ordained. Well, I think there was a lot of subtext flying around the pews between Orangina's clan that's worth exploring because what's unsaid is often very telling at times like these. So let's just give a voice to the startled starlings who had no choice but to endure a gentle shellacking at the hands of a woman who showed more courage than every single Republican lawmaker and billionaire that ever was. Okay? Well, Eric Trump seemed a little confused at first, but once he understood the scrawny chick was going to piss off his dad, he started blinking pretty quick, which is his sign of distress. See, as in many families, he bears the brunt of dad's rage, so he knew Orangina was probably going to publicly humiliate him even more over the next few days to vent some of his anger. Lara was clearly flabbergasted that a woman who doesn't wear makeup and has no riz at all thought she could talk back to daddy-in-law. Lara didn't learn to overline her lips and wing her eyeliner to be schooled by a woman who'd probably be a lesbian if she wasn't celibate. How dare she? Tiffany was either practicing an Inspector Clouseau impersonation, or she was being very careful to keep her head tilted at the right angle so as not to disturb her perfectly placed face-framing waves, which her new hubby likes so much. She appeared to be considering the bishop's words, but Tiff doesn't consider, so she was probably just associating. Vonky didn't hear a word because she was fuming over why she wasn't seated on the other side of her dad. Ever since Melania released her book, Vonky seems to be less and less featured by her father, and that makes all those years of perfecting the doe-eyed, breathy affect feel like a waste of time. Melania was secretly like, "You go, girl, give 'em shit, but hurry the fuck up because the angle of these lights are surely making my marionette lines look terrible, and I'm going to be late for my massage appointment with Swedish male model Sven." J.D. Vance wasn't having any of it. He did not like hearing about people who are worse off than him. He already suffered his quota of vulnerable and downtrodden people in his childhood, and he's got no fucks left for anyone but billionaires. Plus, he married a brown woman, which was supposed to give him a permanent gold star for good character, so he didn't understand why the bishop didn't get the memo. He kept looking at his wife for validation of his anger and some help regulating his no-good, very bad, violent fantasies. Poor Usha was trying to convey a whole host of points with the tiniest tip of her head, as if to say, "Listen, asshole, I'm the brown girl, remember? Everybody hates me and wonders why I'm even allowed to sit up here next to you, so I can't act like a doofus like you are because your goons will find a way to call me ungrateful or unworthy, and then they'll try to deport me, so STF you, dude." JD, of course, also looked to his owner, Orangina, for any indication of when to rush the stage and tackle the bishop, but the orange savior didn't acknowledge him. At first, Orangina had the blank Adderall stare we know so well. When he realized he was getting a moral thrashing by a woman, he went to his happy place in his brain, the one where he imagines sitting on top of a pile of blithering idiot Republicans and MAGA minions who have handed their lives over to his pleasure. He probably made a mental note to ask Jared to get the bishop a ride home from one of Jared's foreign buddies who likes to tie up passengers and have them ride in the trunk. Of course, Orangina could have missed the whole thing. He could have been trying to figure out how much money he should offer Melania to go a little bigger on the boobs, because Jeff Bezos' wife wears them so well. Or maybe he was just dreaming about his next Big Mac. Either way, it was fun to see the whole dastardly lot of grifters come face to face with a badass who didn't give a shit what they thought of her. Let's hope we see more of that in the next 4 years. Okay, folks? Well, Orangina and company, have the day you deserve.